Alright, for 21 to 23, all you had to do was find the slope and the y-intercept. So when you look at 21, you have to remember the equation y equals mx plus b. Right, this should be ingrained into your brain by this point. The m is the slope or the rate of change, okay, and the b is where you begin, or the y-intercept. Okay, both parts are given to you in the equation. You just have to recognize which part is which. Some of you got these backwards. So you want to make sure that your m, or your slope, and your b are correct. Easiest way to recognize is the m goes with the x. So this is 6, and it's a positive 6. And then the other part is b, which is 8. Okay? If you look at 23, or 22, sorry, you have negative x. That's important that you recognize that negative goes with the x, so that's a negative 1 as the slope. Even though you don't see the 1, that's 1x. b is equal to positive 7. All right, and then the last equation, m and b, slope and y-intercept. Okay, you can see that the slope is 5. In this case, the y-intercept has a negative attached to it, so it's a negative 2. All right, so that's how that's done. It should be easy. All right, you got to recognize y equals mx plus b, and check out whether there's negative signs attached to it. All right, for each table, you had to create y equals mx plus b, just like you did in the problem before. All right, you have to figure out what this equation is. You got to figure out what m is, and you got to figure out what b is. M is the rate of change. So for every 1, what is it changing? So this one's pretty easy because you're going from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3. So you got to figure out what the y is. So what's happening? This is minus 4, minus 4, minus 4. So the rate of change is going down 4 for every value, every x. So y equals negative 4x. The next step is to determine, okay, what the y is when the x is 0. And that's 6. Positive 6 means it's plus 6. So there's your equation. Y equals negative 4x plus 6. That one's really easy because it's counting by ones. The next equation is a little bit more challenging because you'll see that this is going from 0 to 2, and then 2 to 5, and then 5 to 7, so it's every 2. There's 2 ways you could solve this problem. You could use your brain. You could say, all right, I'm going from 3 to 11, so that's 6. And then 11 to 23, that's 3 more. So forget about that. Let's just focus in on this. I'm sorry, that's 8, not 6. I apologize. I knew I was doing something wrong there. That's 8. So for every 2, it's 8. What does that mean for every 1? Well, it's half that. So that's plus 4 for every 1. That's one of the ways you could do that, by using your brain. Here is 8, right? From 5 to 7, that's 8. So for every 1, it's 4. So that's 4x. That's the rate of change. Y equals 4x. Another easy thing, they gave you what the b is, where you begin. That's plus 3. Right, so there's the equation for that problem. All right. The final one takes a little bit more work. Similar process, though. You could do it the same. You could say, all right, we're going from negative 7 to negative 15. That's negative 8. And then here, you can see you're going from 7 to 8. That's negative 4. That's going up by 1. So for every 1, it's negative 4. This one's 2, so you cut that in half. That's negative 4. So you basically found your slope is y equals negative 4x. And now you got to figure out what y is when x is 0. So just real quick, we can put a 1 and a 0 here. And we can go up 4. So if we go up 4, that's negative 4 here. And if you go up 4 more, that's 0 here. Sorry, that's wrong. That's negative 3. And that's negative 1. Apologize, I'm doing this in the copy room. So that's negative 3, and that's negative 1. All right, so that means that's negative 1, and there is your equation. All right? So I want you to copy those 3 problems down. I know you did them on your test, and a lot of you got them right, but I want you to copy them down. That's your homework tonight, to have all of those done. All the slope problems I just did, and then these equation problems.